welcome to OtakuCast. I'm your host,
Hi.
Angel, and that's DC, my co-host. We're here, as always, to talk about anime and other otaku things. I have a small YouTube channel. You can check me out, youtube.com, angels_calamity. DC, what do you got?
Hi, I'm Directionally Challenged. You can find me on YouTube at Directionally Challenged. Doo-doo.
His YouTube's more popular than mine. You guys need to change that, please. Please. Anyway, we're not here to talk about our YouTube channels, my friend.
What are we here to talk about today?
We're here to talk about, first
Tell
we're going to talk about some otaku news. We're going to talk about, I'm going to tell you about some otaku news. First, I'm going to tell you about my Final Fantasy VII t-shirt. Very, very silhouette-y, very abstract-y, cloud.
Don't do that. You're knocking your mic around.
Sorry, apologies.
I
am on my phone
t-shirt?
recently. What does it say?
It says love in every language.
Oh.
And it's
cool.
it's a kanji for love.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
I'm on my phone, so my field of view is limited. Apologies. But, DC, did you hear what Attack on Titan's making now? They're making...
yeah, I've heard they're making a children's book.
They are making a children's book.
Of course.
And it's a children's book that my tab is not loading, so I guess I'll have to read my notes. I cannot pronounce that. Kodansha is released a new book for the Attack on Titan franchise on Wednesday titled Shingeki Tantei Armin Nyudan. I can't do it.
Shiken o Topaseo.
Thank you. Attack Detective Armin passed
the regimental entrance exam.
Exactly. And the book features Armin Mikasa. Armin or Armin? How does people say the name?
Nah.
I don't know. Armin, whatever. Mikasa and Eren
will surely tell us we're wrong no matter what we say.
Yeah, I'm sure. Solving mysteries while they defeat the Titans. Armin has always dreamed of solving mysteries with his childhood friends. All three of them take the test to enter the Attack Detective Regiment. Which, cool, but really strange. It's like taking... Because Attack on Titan is definitely not a children's...
No, it's
anime.
not. No, it is not at all.
So that's like a strange medium for people to go...
Unless kids just love giant naked monsters that destroy and eat people.
You know what we could make a kid's book out of? Now hear me out. Attack on Titan.
Nah, that'll work.
But, I mean, it looks cute. The little graphic is pretty cute. If you guys want to see the news article, it will be in our Otaku News in the Discord channel. And the art looks cute. So, I mean, if I had a munchkin that wanted to watch it, I'd be down. Or read it, I mean. I'd help them read it.
Oh, they'll make an anime out of it eventually. Oh, they'll make an anime out of it eventually.
I mean, they made the one with the Rock Lee and the little Naruto chibis, so...
Naruto Go? Or was it Rock Lee
No,
something?
It was Rock Lee and his friends, or... Chat, help us out here. Rock Lee and his friends do things. I don't know, but my niece was really into that, and I'm just like, what is this? Abomination? But anyway... Did you hear about Beastars?
I hear it's getting a second season.
Yes, it is. Beastars Season 2, baby. They are finally making another one. The wraparound jacket on Paru Itagaki's 20th Beastars manga volume revealed on Thursday that the second season of the manga's anime adaptation will appear in January 2021, which is really right around the corner.
Nah, if there is a 2021.
I mean, you're right. But it's really right around the corner, considering how long it takes to make an anime like this.
Oh, they've been doing it since.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They started a while ago.
And I mean, I'm so down for it because I know you haven't watched Beastars yet, but it was amazing, really good show. And I mean, at first I was a little hesitant because just the animation and the way it was like, am I a furry because I'm watching this? But no, Beastars is great, and if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. My home internet's out right now, so I cannot watch your stream the stream at the moment. So DC, you got to keep an eye on those comments.
I'm looking at chat.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to tell us about the other some more Otaku news?
Yeah, apparently, they have released a trailer teaser for the new live-action Promised Neverland film.
No, I didn't get to watch the trailer, but there are some differences in cast, that's for sure.
Yeah, let's talk about the fact that the main characters, the the 19-year-old actress Minami Hamabe is going to be play is going to be playing Emma, the 12-year-old.
Yeah, yeah. Not to mention that
The
there's going to be a lot of people irritated the fact that they're not representing all cultures the way they should be, and skin color.
the it's well, we'll
So
get to that. Let's also talk about how the 17-year-old Rihito Itagaki is playing Norman. And
yeah,
the only one that's close is 13-year-old Joe Kari playing Ray.
and that's kind of weird to have these older, almost adults playing.
Kinda. You know, we make fun of America for TV shows where we clearly have non-high schoolers playing high schoolers. Clearly. But when I was watching the little teaser, I was like, wow, some of these kids don't look like they're kids.
Yeah,
And yeah.
it's because we know they're saying that they've released the film will open on December 18th, and that yeah, the actress is, I guess she's a popular actress in Japan, and the Minami Hanabe. So, but it's still so weird to see a 13-year-old her try to depict a 13-year-old. There is such a big gap between a
they picked a 19
woman,
and 17-year-old to play a 12-year-old.
Yeah, and
that
like
is so weird.
Incredibly, incredibly weird. I don't like it, but you know what? I might give the movie a try. But honestly, I don't have high hopes for it already. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. It didn't look that great. It's so jarring to see the age differences. Really,
this news article also does mention a second season of the anime was premiere in October, but it was delayed because of Voldemort. So the things that we shall not speak of. But you know, I mean, let's. The clip finally loaded for me. So, but you know what? We'll give it a shot, I guess. And
you'll give it a shot. I'm not giving it a shot.
I mean,
it does not.
It's so weird to have them portrayed that way. Like, it is not hard to find child actors. Like, they have plenty of other child actors already in the clip. It's like 30 seconds once you get in the news articles on the Discord if you guys want to watch it. But anyway, DC, what's our next news story?
Well, let's finish it off with talking about the Inuyasha spin-off anime, Yashahime Princess Half Demon. It
now,
got its first trailer revealed.
I'm currently working my way for like the time through Inuyasha. I'm gonna finish it this time because it's one of my first loves. I will, because I want to see this and I want to know. Like, obviously, I got spoilers just like a little bit by looking at this. A little bit of spoilers, like who has children and all that kind of stuff. But the trailer is awesome. They also revealed the new visual and the 3 cast main characters for the Yashahime Princess Half Demon, or Hanyo no Yashahime, the anime spin-off of Rumiko Takanashi's Inuyasha series, on Thursday. The anime's official website says the Japanese version of the trailer also revealed the anime's October 3rd premiere date on the YTV and TV network in Japan.
That's right. They revealed mostly the main characters. Obviously, we have Inuyasha's kid and we have Sashomaru's kids, who will be pretty much the main focuses. So,
and I don't know. I don't like that they're all women. It's
weird, isn't it?
because Inuyasha was the original was mostly men, and yeah, it was an anime that was like, ooh, it's a little romance and a lot of action, everyone can enjoy it, and I like that about it. And now this one, it makes me hesitant. Is it like all gonna be just all these girls doing girl fighty things? And like, no, I need my male characters as well. I need a balance. But
It
there's some
looks.
big names in the directing and all that kind of stuff. I hope they do it justice.
I'm sure it'll be. I'm sure it'll be all right. We'll see
So,
what
but
happens.
now I know you said that was the last bit of news, but I have one more little tiny tidbit that is near and dear to my heart. Some of you might have heard of Busy Pop or Has Been Hotel, which is a an animator's original pilot on YouTube, an adult cart animation that has gotten millions of views on YouTube. If you've not watched it, go check it out. It is not safe for work though. But great news for Busy Pop. She tweeted just the other day that she can't express how excited she is. I've never imagined this project I've carried and worked on for so long would have reached this point. I can't thank A24 and having faith in me. A24 and HBO. I have not been able to find any other news articles about it. I have literally only been able to find these tweets. HBO and A24 have picked up her series for or her animated pilot for a series, and that's awesome. I am very excited. I love Has Been Hotel. I love Angel Dust. So if any of you guys are big fans as well, check it out for
Yeah.
sure. I still have a network error. I hope
So
you're being good to
let's
our chatters.
move on to our topic. Well, I was waiting to get into the topic before I talk about X World Official, who is out at the moment, but they were saying, what's the topic today? And the topic today is 2D versus 3D anime. And X World Official said, as long as the story is good, graphic don't bother me. But that's the question today, is it not?
Yes,
Is
yes,
the
it is.
story
Now,
good? And even if it is, can the art still. But mostly,
I'm not gonna lie. Personally, I just dropped my pen. Personally, for
that's
me,
fine.
if I turn on an anime or I hear good about reviews about an anime and I see that it's 3D, I am instantly much less interested. Just the
Oh,
3D
yeah.
animation has always burned me. I have never liked it because it's done cheaply. It's clunky.
Usually,
It's
if it's a serial anime and not like a movie, it's
mhm,
usually done pretty clunky and cheaply, and
mhm.
it's like the wire frames or the skeletons that they're using for the models are just like janky stop motion looking
Can we
creatures.
can we talk about how a lot of them look like PS1 as best the PS1 could have done back, 30 years ago?
Oh, of course. But
30 years is probably wrong, but you guys know what I mean.
the
But
thing is that for me, 2D anime always has that like special feel to it. Like anything that's 2D and hand drawn always has that sort of special feel to me, where it feels a lot more personal.
yeah, you're right. But there are ones that are done right. I mean, I'm not saying they're all awful and bad and horrible,
Well, most of
but
the ones done right are done right because, like we were talking a little bit earlier about Captain Harlock,
yeah,
and
Captain Harlock was done. I mean, I was impressed. I saw it was 3D and I'm like, CGI, 3D, same difference. And I'm like,
well,
but
that's what I
then
want to discuss as well.
seconds into the movie, I was like, no, this is awesome. Like I had never seen any of the other Captain Harlock things, but the way that movie was done, I was still invested in it from the very beginning because not only was it visually stunning,
Hmm?
but it was very interesting. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
but
as
like,
you did mention, for me, I consider CGI and 3D to be similar, if not the same, when it comes to anime. But
you do. But what I'm thinking here is there are moments where you get 3D. Sorry, I'm 3D in an anime that's trying to blend in by looking like it's hand drawn. Like, look at Captain Harlock. That's clearly CG. When you see that, that's
oh,
CG. That's
yeah,
100% CG in your mind. But then you see like, um, in the movie we watched this week, and a few of the movies we watched throughout the series, there have been cars that are clearly meant to be drawn, but are also very clearly a 3D model.
hmm
And it clashes so hard with the world when you do that, and it's just, that's what I mean by 3D anime, is you have it as a 3D model that's drawn on, rather than Captain Harlock, which is clearly a computer model that's computer made, and it looks good, it looks clean. And then there's some animes though that are done in that 3D drawn on style.
Yeah, and it's
And
bad.
they're so
Another
jarring.
one that really gets to me are ones that are just completely 2D animation, and then they just throw in this random 3D character, this random CGI scene. Like, I'm going to use Digimon, for example. Like, don't at me, Digimon people. I love Digimon too. But yes, it does make sense in the digital world to have their Digivolutions be digitized. But at the same time, the animation's just like, eh? Like, give me that hand-drawn animation. Give it to me pretty. Keep the prettiness coming. Don't give me that janky, over-shiny texture on the Greymon skin. Okay, it's weird. It's weird.
They could have done it like, because the character ends up being drawn again anyways. It goes from the 3D to the drawn model. So you could have done it in like a super Sailor Moon way. You know, when Sailor Moon transforms, she doesn't suddenly become a 3D weird model. You know,
I mean, I'm sure if Sailor Moon was done these ages, she would.
Probably, yeah. I've noticed a lot of anime companies are sneaking in that 3D where they can.
And yeah, it's cheaper and easier because you could have one or two people do that short scene as opposed to a whole scene.
It's jarring.
It really is. It
especially when it's
out
the
of
background. Why would you 3Dize a background?
Like the 3D crowds, those bother me. It's like,
they're so creepy.
I see you. And another thing that bothers me is like expressions and movement is not. It's as we talked about at we talked about a little bit in the pre-show. It's the uncanny valley of it.
Yeah.
Like even a decently, like I have a list of ones that have done it right, the 3D animation or the CG animation. But even those ones can make an expression or something like that, and you're like, didn't like that, and it just kind of just throws you out of the experience a little bit.
That's
like,
there's just, I don't understand this new trend towards going towards 3D. You know, a lot of things are starting to try and push towards 3D. I imagine it's just simply because it's a cost and time saving thing.
It is, and that's fine. But if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right. We need visual cohesion.
Yeah, don't do a mix. And if you're gonna go 3D, just own it. Own 3D. Yeah. Own it. Do good. Don't just put your heart into it.
There are some that I have seen with a little bit of mix, but it's not like, it's just to help the battle scenes flow more fluidly, and that's fine by me. And the only way you notice it, but it's done right if you don't notice it. Attack on Titan, for example. All of their Titans are computer generated, unless it's like slower still scenes. When they're fighting the Titans, it's all computer generated. I did my research on this one, and they did it so well you don't notice, and that's what I like. That's what I'm just like.
I'm thinking, well, because computer generated doesn't necessarily mean 3D. You can have a 2D composite computer generated image.
But it's all blanketed under by computer graphics animation, which is what CG means.
But let's be very honest here, though. Computer graphics animation does not mean 2D or 3D. It means the style of animation that it is. CG
I think that's more of an opinion, but I see what you're saying.
It's a fact, because you can have CG that is 2D. That is entirely possible. You can do that. Anytime you draw...
but it doesn't mean it's gonna be good, though.
It doesn't. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying that just because something's computer generated does not necessarily mean that it is inherently 3D. So that's why I'm saying we have to discuss that CGI is not always going to be 3D. It just mostly is. So if you're mixing it in with a 2D show, sometimes they might try and keep it to where it's more on the flat end, more 2D.
Well, when I did my research for this topic, a lot of people considered CG to also just be as well as 3D, and the same, like a blanket term for it. So that's what I was going off of. But I see what you're getting.
That's fine, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's always the truth. There's a lot
You're
of
not
things
wrong.
that people will lump together that aren't necessarily the same thing. It's just it's easier, and it doesn't really allow for a more nuanced look at CGI. For example, we don't look at the flat images. Then we're just going to be like, all CGI is 3D, and then it kind of gets a little weird if you have a scene that is 2D that's CGI. Like, in all honesty, most anime is probably done on computers now. Most of it's probably not hand drawn anymore. And so technically, by definition, all of it would be computer generated.
You're not wrong. I mean, which one was the last Studio Ghibli fully hand drawn movie?
Oh, exactly. But
now I can't remember.
But I wouldn't call any of the Studio Ghibli films 3D.
There's one that's coming out that's going to be CGI, though.
There is one that's going to be.
We talked about that in a previous episode.
But even though the other ones are computer generated, by definition, they're not CG. They're not 3D.
It's a different animation style. Like,
yeah, it's all the style.
I find the ones that do it right have to have the proper textures. They have to have. I mean, if they use the CG or the 3D to amplify a dynamic shot or like the camera, and that's okay if they.
For me, it's not because most of the time it's so jarring.
Yeah, but they have to have it well integrated.
But that's the problem. Is it almost never is.
There are some that does it right. There are some.
It always like clicks in my vision. Like I always see it, and then I can't unsee it, and then it bothers me.
Some that a lot of people are very unhappy about. Now, I have a friend of mine I was talking about this with, and they actually like the 2016 Berserk's animation. I've not seen it, but I've seen clips of it, and I've been told it's awful.
The story is good, and so you can get over the animation with that.
Is it? I don't know. I've been warned if I'm gonna watch a Berserk, not to watch that one. So
it's very janky. It's very movements are very like stiff and rigid at times.
Like poor claymation.
Yeah, and that's the downfall of a lot of 3D anime. Is that you get these stiff, rigid movements, and things can't flow as well as they should. Example is an interesting thing that goes on with God of High School is that they had a mocap studio so that they could mocap the movements of certain actors and like martial artists, and then they would use that as references to draw.
That's awesome.
So it gives you
like the God of High School definitely has some 3D in it, but I think it's done right.
Yeah,
like,
occasionally, yeah.
Have you heard of the anime called Knights of Sidonia? Apparently that's another one that gets a lot of
I have heard of it. I haven't seen it in a while.
Being
like I haven't
poorly.
Seen
I've heard it has a great story, but awful animation. So I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
There's like we were discussing. You get movies like Captain Harlock, and then you get movies like Final Fantasy Spirited Away.
Yes. Or Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, because that was all.
Which was all CGI and 3D and really well done.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful animations, beautiful
Final Fantasy
movements.
Nerd within me squeed endlessly when I watched this. I still watch it now and then. I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, and I don't know if that would be as good 2D.
Or what about like the Resident Evil animated movies? Like the Generation, and there's like 4 of them now.
Are those really anime?
Why would they be?
Well, Resident Evil's not anime.
I mean, but they're still animated movies that are done CG.
Yeah, again, we're not getting into that debate because not everything that's animated is anime.
Yes. I definitely.
Otherwise, Frozen's anime, and I'm not going. Yeah,
in Japan, Frozen is an anime. Okay, in Japan, Frozen is anime.
Hi, Lunasuki.
Hi. Glad to have you. But and that is true. You can't. We can sit here and bicker about that again. We did bicker about anime, what qualifies as an anime, but we're not doing that. Beastars, we can say, is an anime, and it's a 3D anime, and it was well done. I mean, I was a little bit off-put by Beastars at first, but I
We're
fell in
just
love with it. I
we're
really
just
did.
debating, Lunasuki, about what's anime and what's not at the moment, but we're gonna move back to 2D and 3D.
I
It's
was
good.
moving back to 2D
I
and
know.
3D. It's not
I'm just
my
messing
fault
with
you
you.
weren't paying attention.
Oh, I was paying
Okay.
attention. I just don't care about Beastars.
That sounds like a you problem because Beastars is
Yeah.
amazing.
But
Beastars is really good.
have you seen
And
Dragon Ball Z Super movies?
no,
So you haven't seen the Brawly movie or
no,
Resurrection F. Okay,
no.
so in Resurrection F, there's some scenes where they use 3D modeling and then try and draw over the 3D model.
No, that's awful.
While keeping a 2D background and 2D environments. And it is a 3D camera with 3D people and then 2D everything else.
That is
and it's
so awful.
so jarring. It's so jarring.
Yeah,
but
no.
that's what I'm talking about with like certain like things is so jarring. And then you get a really good anime. You go back and you look up like, Trigun and like all these classic animes, and you go and you see that they don't have those 3D elements to them and stuff like that, but they still get the same effect. And that's kind of the question we end up coming to is it worth cheapening the experience
No.
to get the
it's
cool
not.
camera effect?
It's not like they have to well integrate the animation for it to be good in my book. If they're going to do both 2D and 3D, you have to have it be smooth and seamless so it's not super jarring. Yeah, Luna, it's a lot of the 3D animation, well, is awful. It really is. But there's some that are doing it right. And as we have technological advances and developers are listening more to fans, some of them are doing it a lot better. A lot better.
They're trying at least.
Like BNA is one that is it's also drawn, but it's also animated, computer animated, and it's done well. Like I haven't watched BNA, Brand New Animal. It's on Netflix. It's on my list. But Colette, we all know Colette here in the Empire. If you're watching, hi Colette, we love you. But she was telling me how really good it was, and the animation was really smooth, and it wasn't jarring. It didn't take you out of the experience. So, I mean, there's a lot of ones that are working towards doing it better. I mean, honestly,
they're
like,
really pushing the envelope. But
do you remember? Okay, this is not an anime. I will give you that. Reboot, way back in the day, one of the
God,
first
I remember Reboot. Yeah,
animated cartoons. I loved it at the time because I didn't have much other TV. But going back and trying to watch it now, when we know what graphics can be, it's very hard to be like, yes, I'm gonna sit here and watch this because I know it has a good story. Its animation was so awful.
Luna says it'll be a while for everyone to catch up. They can't even get live action right, and we're way advanced in that. That is way too true.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard us talking about the Promised Neverland live action adaptation that they're doing, and they're destroying everything. Can we still have some hope for One Punch Man? One Punch Man's easy to live action, right?
You would think, but I don't know. And normally...
Hi, Bio, aka Colette, I see you.
I've gotten to the point with live action that there's a whole other debate we can have, but I've gotten to a point where I don't trust them. I give up on them.
I'm not watching Deathflix for anyone.
No.
Okay? I'm not doing it. No.
So what is it? Tiger and Bunny, right? Getting back on track.
I've heard
Tiger
of it.
and Bunny. That's another one that kind of mixes 2D and 3D.
Yeah. Did they do it well? I don't know. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Not really. It's not really. Oh. It's very jarring.
Anyone
again.
else seen Tiger and Bunny?
That's like there's one anime. It's like the Monte Cristo anime. What is it called?
That's another one Colette's seen. Colette, aka Bio, that Count of Monte Cristo one you kept trying to get me to watch, and it was just the colors and the animation, and it's a little bit older too. And
Gankutsuo, the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yes.
Yeah. The characters are 2D, but the environments, the cities, the lighting, the structures, and the clothing were all rendered in 3D.
Don't like.
And that's kind of one of the reasons why everything was so jarring with it. Aside from just the really weird design choices.
Yeah, I saw when I was doing my research for this topic again, and was one of the ones mentioned. I can speak good English, and it was just like they showed you pictures and a little shot of it, and it's just like, it was like the textures on their clothes moved. Weird. I don't know. And
Luna
Luna
says the
says
last Exile, had a sort of 2D, 3D feel to it, if I remember right.
I have not seen that one. I have
That's
not.
no bueno. No bueno.
Was it good enough to watch? Like, I've heard about Last Exile.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Did we enjoy Last Exile? I don't know. I didn't watch.
I didn't watch it either. But anyway, and then like Vexile. Remember we watched that for last season. Vexile. That was a fully 3D CGI movie, and it was decent.
What was that other one that we watched?
I don't remember. There was like an Appleseed one.
Yeah. That was all weird CG too.
It was, that one. Vexile was smooth. It had more of like a Final Fantasy, the Spirits Within feel to it. Very smooth, gentle animation.
I think you mean Advent Children, because Spirit Within was very janky and weird.
Well, yeah, I meant Advent Children, but Appleseed was not. It was much harsher, much jankier, and yeah. And then, have you ever heard of a movie called Summer Wars?
No, I have not.
No? Summer Wars, another one of those anime that Colette tied me down and made me watch. It's a movie. And it's very Digimon-esque, and also like isekai and a video game otherworld thing. But it was really good. Yeah. It was like, also.
I was just gonna say it's like Oprah handing out isekais. You get an isekai, and you get an isekai, and you get an isekai.
All right. I had an isekai dream inspired by Anime Club's movie this time, but I'm saving that for post show. If you guys want to hear about my
dang, you should save that for post show. Y'all can't watch it unless you're patrons.
Sorry, guys. But anyway, we just don't have the time. We have too many topics to cover. But yeah, it was very, very smooth animation, even though it was 3D CGI. At first, I was just like, "Be gone, demon!" And Bio, aka Colette, is just like, "No, come on, sit down, give it a chance, Like, watched it, enjoyed it. It's a good one. Now, we should definitely petition to have Summer Wars added to next season's Anime Club movie list. Now DC has to watch. Okay?
I don't have to watch anything.
The powers that be.
I refuse.
Powers that be, hear me. Add it to the list. Make DC watch.
I will refuse.
We need Colette to tie you down.
I don't do forced.
Chase also says that he loves Summer Wars. Yeah, it's good. Oh, Otaku Empire says they've considered it.
I will not watch it just because you want to force me to. I won't do it. I will let you know right now.
I'm messing with you. Don't be all like, don't be like this.
You don't hit that button.
Well, you know what button you guys should hit? Just kidding. We're not getting to the self-promotion yet. Yeah, subscribe, follow, like, comment, share, all that kind of stuff, please. But anyway, and honestly, I am excited to see some more, the way we have advancements in the future, because people seem to be listening to fans, except wait, there was that one new anime you watched, DC, with the awful 3D monster. What was it?
I don't remember the name of it. I just remember it was about time-traveling samurai ninjas that went into the future by magic glowing ocean and had to fight humans that turned into demons because their DNA got hyperactivated.
And their CG was awful.
That was terrible. It was the worst. It was like 70s claymation. It was the worst CGI. I don't know why they chose to do that.
I was his emotional support animal while he watched that show. He kept
Oh
messaging me
my
like, "This is
god.
terrible.
I
He
sent you
won't
so many
help."
screenshots too, just to prove it.
Yes,
I needed someone
you're
to
right.
know that this was a thing that was real, and I wasn't going crazy and imagining it. It was like a
Oh,
fever dream.
he told me all about it. I mean, it was very entertaining. he he had a hard time with that anime. But you liked the Rent a Girlfriend one so much better, though, didn't you, DC?
God, comparatively, it was way better.
Oh, jeez.
I
Oh,
hated
jeez,
that one.
Rick. Oh, jeez,
Oh,
Rick.
jeez, Rick. Oh man. Oh, jeez.
But, you know, like, if you're gonna make an anime, it's all well and good. But people, like you were taught, we talked a little bit about on the pre-show. If you, there's a feel, you have to
Yeah,
capture the feel.
there's a heart
Like,
and a feel to it.
yes, and
You can
if
tell
you
when someone
choose to do
cares.
3D, oh, Otaku Empire wants a Zoink Scoob. Giving the
Zoink
people what they want.
Scoob.
There
Like,
you go.
oh man.
Roro.
Like
I
here
can't.
we go. Reggie. There you go. You're welcome. Like, oh man. Like making
You
your
haven't
voices.
pleased our overlords.
You're
But anyway,
very welcome.
But anyway, the I lost my train of thought.
1,000.
It derailed.
There's a heart
died.
and a feel. There's a heart
Yes.
and a feel, and a lot of the 3D animated anime does not capture the heart of
Like,
someone who cares. Like it doesn't
Go ahead.
it doesn't feel like the people making it care about the product. It just feels like, hey, let's pump this out, you know?
Yeah, and it doesn't have like the heart. Like, I know the feel and the heart are two different things, but like the way characters emote is not
Yeah.
the same. Like, I kind of mentioned it, but it's almost like insulting to try to make these characters, which anime fans, otaku heads, and weebs have all, which is all the same thing. Come on. Have all come to love this style and this feeling. And like, there can be many different styles, but you're right, it has to have that feel. But when it comes to a lot of 3D animation, it's just so lazy.
Let's
Luna,
be a little bit honest.
you might be right. You might be right, Luna. The problem is they don't write the story to match a 3D animation.
Exactly.
And that's a very, very good observation.
Well, I think it's because most of ththese stories are written as mangas half of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And mangas are inherently a 2D. Ohana means family. But mangas are inherently...
Now we have something else to ask him for.
Yeah, Ohana. They're inherently 2D. They're always going to be... They're a freaking comic book, basically.
I would like to see the day that a manga is done like actual legit 3 dimensions. Like, you push a button and you're in the manga. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Hollow manga.
But I think we're going to be dead before that happens.
Not me, I'll live forever. I will live forever. I am immortal. Don't
Not me. I'm old already. I feel old in my soul.
Maybe I'm already dead. You don't know. Maybe
Who knows?
We all are. Yeah, you don't know. But anyway, yeah.
You don't.
The mangas are
you
written,
don't have to consider how things are conveying the story with a full body. It's very different. It's not like a movie. A movie. When you write a movie, you write it with the intention of a human doing this. But when you write a manga,
or a book, a light novel,
or a light novel, there's no limit to what you can do, because you're not confined.
If you can draw it, it can go in there. Like,
yeah,
if you're the artist.
Like, any way you want to stretch the human body in ways that don't work, you know. But if you do a 3D animation, typically you have to have a skeleton set up for the animation, and so your bodies have to move in a very rigid, set way, because if you guys don't know, 3D animation typically breaks down into the skeletal frame and then the muscles that they put onto it, so that the body acts as human as possible. When one thing moves, it's supposed to try and reflect on another. It's very difficult to get that to work, because for really good 3D animation, you have to put a lot of those little connectors in a lot of places, and that's why you get Final Fantasy Advent Children, where when the face moves, there's certain crinkles in it, because they've set things up to, move when one thing moves and things like that, and it looks really good, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of really skilled people. Whereas with a 2D animation, you don't have that limitation. There's not as many limits. There's no limits. Whatever you want to do,
Well,
anything
don't
can
forget,
exist, and anything
Luna
can bend it
says
any way you want.
they react to the environment differently, and body language reads different. Yes, it does.
Exactly.
But
And,
don't forget, I'd like to mention this. If we look back, ye old yesteryear, we did talk about like the history of anime and everything like that in one of our previous episodes. Those animations, they had to learn how to animate things properly.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like we're getting there with 3D animation if people actually tried.
If they tried, but that's the thing, is it doesn't feel like 3D animation is used for people who care. It feels like it's used for, like,
I've heard Kill La Kill is done 3D and it's done well. That's another one I've not seen yet. Colette's not been able to tie me to a chair yet to make me watch that one.
I think it's a 2D 3D mix.
Again, but yeah, it's another one of those I've heard a lot of good things about it. And
did you like Promare?
I did.
Okay, then you might like Kill la Kill. Then you might like Kill la Kill. Yeah.
I enjoyed Promare very much.
And check out Gurren Lagann. If you liked Promare, you'll like those too.
Gurren Lagann's one of the only mecha anime I like. Speaking of mecha, can we talk about how every mecha anime with a 3D scene is awful? That 3D scene that they throw in there, the transformation, or the what's the one in Evangelion, where like he lifts the ship and it's just why?
See, they did it right in the original Evangelion when it was all hand drawn and it was like the mouth busted open and it looked really good because they hand drew it and they put a lot of effort into it. It looked really good, and that's just what you can do if you actually like care.
Yeah, I've not seen Evangelion, but I've heard so much about that show that I probably don't need to watch it.
I've seen the ending. I just don't know what it means.
The Otaku Empire says Code Geass mechs for 2D most of the time, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think they were like most of the time, yeah. And that's a testament to how well they did with them. Like, think about this.
Like, okay,
Gundam Wing was all 2D.
Let me point out that not all of those scenes are bad, but the majority of them are.
Yeah, that's the point.
There was one gun. I don't remember. I should have written it down because I can't remember anything. But there was one that was like a really complex. It was a Gundam one, and it was like the scene where he like transforms on little shifting, moving panels, and they couldn't accomplish that as well as in 2D, and it was done well, and they integrated it well. But it's just like, if you guys want more people to like this format, this way of animation, you guys need to make it worth us liking. Like, you know what I mean?
I think honestly, mecha anime lends itself to 3D really well. I mean, think about it. Mechs inherently move robotically.
Like, one of the few mech animes that I watched was Zoids, and that was back. Well,
that was also 2D.
Oh, well, there was one of the ones that I watched where when the whatever they were specifically called, my brain is doing the thing.
Zoids.
No, but like the individual ones, whatever. There was the lion ones. It was not the liger, it was one of the lion ones. And when it moved, it was all the way it ran. All of the running scenes were 3D animation because they could.
And they looked really, really jarring and weird.
Yeah, but it made sense why they wanted to go with that option, but they could have done it so much better. Like,
I remember.
So much better. Yeah, it's just,
That was one of those ones where it was 3D, but it was like a 3D
There's been a lot of Zoids. I don't remember which Zoids it was.
It was like a 3D skeleton with like a 2D drawing over it. Like, it looked drawn on. It's very weird.
Yeah, I don't. It removes you from the world, as we've said, and it's.
Yeah, exactly. It takes you out of it, and that's why I don't know. For me, like, getting into like ending thoughts, for me, 3D animation right now, it doesn't have the heart and the soul and the feel of what 2D animation has. There's some that do it really, really well, but it's really rare at the same time, you don't always get a Captain Harlock.
No,
And
I would like you, DC, to watch Beastars because I really think that if all 3D animation took what the animators did with Beastars, because the way it's done, the way the characters emote, and way the colors and the lines are, it looks hand drawn, but it is all 3D animation,
never.
and it's done really well. It's done really well. Come on, if you guys see Beastars, give Beastars some loves down in the comments, please,
Never.
because it's done really well. It's done well. You should watch it. Give it a go. Grab your bunny and your significant other and cuddle up on the couch and watch a couple episodes. Come on.
Never.
The Otaku Empire says, I think they both have their place in the anime industry, and you're not wrong. Like, I am more hopeful that the advancements that, as you know, more of a final thought thing, that the advancements that we're seeing now, other than that one samurai anime you watched, that they're continue with. Like, if you're gonna use CG, you're gonna use 3D, do it right, integrate it well. Don't give me 4 characters that look amazing with that janky 3D crowd in the background. If you're gonna take the extra effort, make them look halfway decent.
Yeah.
Okay? Because animators should know by now, we're looking in the backgrounds anyway. We're paying attention to all the little details. We're pausing and rewinding and going, what shirt was that guy wearing? Like, it doesn't matter, but that's what we do. Like, let's be honest.
Man, that's what you do.
See, Biohazard says that she's ready for season 2. Thank you, Colette. I know you are. But I think we're going to leave that topic off there today. If you guys have any thoughts on that, drop them in the comments below.
Tell us how wrong we are and why our opinions are terrible.
Depending on how you're watching it. That's okay too.
That's the internet.
You know what we're going to talk about next, DC?
Are we going to talk about Anime Club?
Oh, DC, you know me so well. We're going to talk about Anime Club. DC, what's Anime Club?
Anime Club is a place that you can tune into on Fridays, currently 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to be with us and watch anime. We're currently watching The Promised Neverland and God of High School. And you know
every
what?
week we watch one episode of these animes and an animated movie right after, which we only talk about in the post show, and post shows for Patreons only. But we have a lot of good times, and we did watch episode 3 of both The Promised Neverland and The God of High School this week.
Do you know what else we did?
What else?
We watched Ni no Kuni, and next week we're going to be watching Her Blue Sky, which is expected to start an hour after the other times, usually.
Excellently, apparently, excellent. We're going to start off talking about...
to join us. All you got to do?
Please.
React in the React channel. Come on down. Join us.
Got to get in our Discord. Go to Self-Assigned Roles. React in that channel. Then you will have access to Anime Club. And once again, every Friday. Hope to see you there. But the first episode we're going to talk about is Promised Neverland Season 1 episode, which is 181045. DC?
Yeah, the Beastars. The Beastars friggin' didn't keep a coherent friggin' naming scheme for these episodes.
I literally have a note right here in green that DC was wrong.
I said I was hoping that they kept it going, but no.
Let's mark it down in our books, everybody. For once, DC was wrong.
Well, I did say if they keep the trend up, and they did not.
Well, you know, yeah. But
I
anyway,
left myself room to be wrong.
Well, that's always good. They pick up right where the last one left off. Like, where they assigned the sister, Corona.
I mean, we start off without even a. Normally, the last 2 episodes. Normally, we got a little intro scene in the episode. You know, normally, we got a little intro, little taste of like last week, or a little taste of what's gonna happen. You know, like last week, we got a little taste of Emma having a nightmare. You know, a little taste. And
but not
this week, no, straight into the opening.
Yeah, and I was like, oh,
still can't remember it.
Okay.
Still don't remember that opening.
You know,
someday.
I think,
I'm sure you guys were.
Or you just skip it by now.
No, I watch it. I just don't remember. I'm sure you guys worked really hard on that opening, but I just don't remember.
Yeah, it's just them like it's like a motivational ish sound, like keep on fighting further kind of song,
Yeah.
and they're like
So
running in the woods. But anyway,
we
right where they
opened
left off with the new
yeah.
sister.
New sister and the new sister.
Yeah, the new adult and the new little
Yeah.
sibling for
So
the orphanage.
Miss
And if you guys
Isabella
have
is.
not seen The Promised Neverland, we highly suggest you go watch the episodes. They're
I'm
really
gonna be
good.
honest.
But
If you haven't seen the Promised Neverland, if you never watched this podcast before, we just go into spoilers. So
yeah,
if you don't like
spoilers for the
don't
third
be here
episode.
for the discussions. Because we're discussing the episode and we give our thoughts and our theories.
Plug your ears. Plug your ears.
Just plug your ears
anyway.
and wait for a half hour. It'll be over soon.
Mute us and put us in another tab. It'll be all right.
So yeah, the sister Isabella puts sister Crone between the three kids' rooms.
Yeah, she gets her room and she's right up there with the kids' rooms, and that's very clearly to watch the children closer.
Luna's seen the whole thing. Luna, don't you be spoiling nothing then. No spoilers. Yeah. We can spoil the episode. You can't spoil us.
Yeah, we're only allowed to watch one episode a week, so we have to be good noodles.
Look, I gotta complain about that after God High School. I'm just gonna say, we'll get there. But I'm
sure you like to complain about a lot of things. Basically.
I want to watch the whole season now. So good.
But anyway, later they're outside and it's the three kids and they're talking about the trackers and the new adult.
I want to talk about one thing before we move on to where they're talking about. I want to talk about the kid that gets hit in the face with the ball because I laughed my ass off. It was like a 1 second thing. They just they showed, sister was moving in. They moved on, and then they moved to the three main characters. But in that little segment before the three main characters go off into the woods to go have the little talk, one of the kids throws the ball and just smack into another kid's face. It was awesome. I didn't miss it. I rewound and watched it 3 times because I was like, yeah.
Chase is also very entertained by that scene.
See, exactly. It's funny. And it's not just because when I was in elementary school, I was the kid that got hit in the face with a ball like 17 times a year. It wasn't just because we had to line up and somebody was always at the kickball field or somebody was shooting one last hoop before we lined up, and I was a good guy and I was in line and they'd be like, watch out, and I'd be like, what? And just whack. So I know what that kid's going through and I can laugh at that kid because I was that kid.
Look, I have small children. I'm pelted in the head frequently by many different various objects. Some of them very unpleasant. They're boys. But so they're out there talking about the trackers and the new adult, and Ray's like, hey, this could be a good thing. We can have more sources of info. We can study these adults better. We can find out maybe where the newcomers come from. And they must have, come from somewhere.
They'll come from somewhere. We don't know where. We don't know why.
Yeah, and wherever the new kids come from, that Ray theorizes that the adult had to come from too.
Yeah.
And that was a good thing. And the adults, they also theorize that the demons are under adult control, and were they under control from the day they were born? Were they under control since they arrived? Yeah, where? And then he's like, well, knowing could be beneficial. And you know what? I'm still telling you, I think I'm right. About my hypothesis is that the mother and this new sister, Sister Rona or whatever her name is, that they are not actually human beings. That is my theory.
Yeah, wrong. I know exactly. I can tell you why you're wrong. It's explained immediately in the next scene why you're wrong.
We'll get to it. And then
that's literally
later on.
The scene where they're talking, the kids are just discussing how they're gonna escape, and the trying to figure out how they're being tracked and stuff. But the next scene is Mom and Crone talking, and Crone's like, "Oh, you're like the best mom, and everyone says your kids are the best." Why are you shushing?
Continue. No, I was thinking. Sorry, continue.
But yeah, she says your things are the best, and the mama's talking about how hey, some kids saw a delivery, and we need to figure out who it is. And she gives her the files on all of the kids at the place, which is what, 32, 36 kids? We found out
36. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It's a lot of kids. And she's like, "You want me to memorize these all now?" She's like, "It'll be easier than getting a perfect score every day." So she discusses the thing that they had to do, like all of the kids had to do, get perfect scores every day. So if she was a demon, that wouldn't. What would that matter? She wouldn't have to get.
I
perfect
don't know,
scores.
but the way they said that, like, oh well, you're the highest graded ever, and da da da. I don't. I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying, and you have a very good point, but I don't know.
If the demons could look like humans...
Did you notice how weird the facial expressions were from both of them this whole scene? Humans don't make facial expressions like that. Like, come on.
I think that you're taking a stylized thing, because Emma makes faces that humans shouldn't make either when she gets afraid and scared. And I think it's a stylization choice, not a demon.
And I also think that if it is just style, then that's fine. But if it is just style, it's also to enhance how creepy these parental figures are.
Damn right, Luna. Don't you ruin nothing. Oh no, they're horribly creepy.
Oh yes.
But we do find out that Crone is bat poop crazy.
But no, first that the Corona's like, if the kids found out, why don't you just ship them off?
Crone, not Corona.
Why don't you just?
Not
well,
Voldemort.
then the dub puts her as Corona.
Not
like
no, that's like Voldemort. We don't mention Voldemort. Her name is literally Krone. That's Crone. Like an old
then you tell
crone.
the dub that. You tell the dub that. Because...
That's why dub is bad, and we need to have a dub versus sub debate.
We already had that, and we agreed to disagree.
We didn't really have a dub versus sub debate. Not a real one. Not a real one.
We talked about it for like a whole half an hour.
Not a real one. We need an hour-long one.
Whatever.
But yeah, she's like, "Why aren't you just done?" Then Mama.
Why aren't you following the rules and shipping them out now?
Yeah,
and she's just like, "No, I got it handled. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, Mama's like, "Yeah, it's fine.
Scheduled.
I will make sure everything's taken care of."
She pretty much tells Sister Crone, I will call her Crone for your benefit. But she tells her, like, I'm the mother, you're the assistant, you shut up and do what I say.
Yeah, shut up and do your job! You're here to assist!
She flexes her mom muscles a little bit.
She flexes that mom muscle hard, man.
Yeah, she does. The sister's like, okay.
And then sister goes to her room and talks to her creepy, creepy baby doll.
It's so awful. Like, when the first scene first hit, she was like all up in the mirror, and I'm like, oh, do we have magical communication mirrors? And she's telling on Isabella.
No, she's just crazy.
She was just talking to herself.
This is why I'm telling you, she's 100% a human that is just mentally broken due to the world they live in.
I don't know. We'll see.
100%. Why does she have a creepy baby doll? Why would a demon have a creepy baby doll that it treats like it's a real person?
The prestige that comes with being a mother, and that's just part of the job.
I don't think so, because she has a creepy baby doll that she thinks talks to her, and she thinks it's her kid. But anyway,
she's playing with the doll, and she's talking to it, and like, I know what I'll do.
She slammed it against the ceiling too.
Yeah, that too. She's like, okay, like, look, we know the treatment of the doll was not good.
Half my notes are just Crone is creepy. That's the scene.
It's just a theory. An angel's theory.
Look, I'm telling you, like,
I understand that reference.
Half my notes just say Crone is creepy, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much the scene.
Yeah, but pretty much when she decides that she's gonna just play along, and then when she gets a chance, she's gonna catch the violating children and on her own, and then report them and report Mother Isabella, and then she would gain the house. By her logic, she would
Otaku Empire, you are wrong. It is not hide and seek, it is tag. They specifically call it tag.
Yeah, even in the dub they call it tag.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So anyways, we get...
Now we go back to the children, and it's Ray and Norman, and they're watching the sister play with the kids, and they're worried about how they will turn the kids against her.
Yeah,
all
well,
the kids
because they're
are enjoying the sister. Yeah.
and they're trying to figure it out, and they're washing dishes, and Ray implies the only way to get out of there is
With a fork.
Yeah,
He implies that killing the adults is a better idea.
Little,
but just a little.
Yeah.
And before anything, like Norman's like, ooh, and then sister approaches, and she comes up like child on either side, and she just puts her head like, hello, children.
Otaku Empire, like, I would like to inform you that it is not tag, because in no game of tag ever do you get caught when you tag someone. You become it, and then you become the tagger.
Look, it doesn't matter what childhood game it is. They hide and run from the grown-up. Okay, we'll get to that.
Matters.
Damn it. Anyway.
It's hiding time.
She just comes up and she's like, hi, I know you guys guys' names. I know your test scores are great. Yeah, and she's like, oh, I can't wait to get to know you.
Yeah. Evil face.
And they're just like, help me.
I would just I'm gonna be honest with you. That's another reason where it's like, hey, demon guys who are trying to keep this whole thing a secret from the kids, maybe don't have creepy people in your creepy crazy people be the mamas or assistants in any way.
I don't think that Isabella or Crone would have acted like that if they were not suspicious of the children. I think they're actually trying to scare the kids. That's what I think their intention is.
Well, yeah, obviously, because they suspect that it's the kids with the perfect scores.
So then we go to Emma, and she's looking over the new baby, the new little sister, looking for a scar. Looking for a scar or something to show that the tracker's in it. And there's another girl that was there.
Glasses girl.
Little girl with glasses.
Important later.
And they find just behind the baby's ear a little lump.
The lump where they take blood samples from.
Who takes blood samples from an ear unless you're taking blood samples from an African elephant?
That'd be a really big ear. Up. Yeah, the blood vessel's in the ear. Not a very good place to take blood from. Don't worry, I'll keep on going. So.
I don't know what happened.
Well, you crashed on us.
I think I'm back.
So in an interesting turn of events, we find out where the tracker is, and Glasses Girl is trying to get some information out of Emma, but it's not working very well because Emma's ignoring the crud out of her. Why is she doing that? We don't know.
There's my camera back on. Okay, sorry about
honestly, she's really distracted.
The DC cast. I'm back. Hey, I'm here.
Don't worry. So after that scene, we get Isabella reporting in on like a 1920s radio, where I just expect her to be like, "Oh yeah, no, we're reporting in."
Did you happen to sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but did you happen to notice that Ray said something about it being 2016, and then we see that
2015.
Video?
2015.
It was 2016 in the sub, but
in the dub, you mean?
In the dub, yes.
2015.
Yes. Confusion.
Yeah.
But yes, anyway.
Yes, she was talking on the old talk box. Yeah. Gonna cut a rug, do the jitterbug. Old radio, just an old radio, and she's talking to Grandma.
She's doing a regular check-in, and she's like, "Yep, all's normal." And then someone named Grandma says,
"Have a great night, Luna."
Yeah, thanks for staying. Thanks for watching. Hope you come back.
Yeah, come back, join us.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it was like, Grandma was like, "Yeah, boss needs to know. Like, boss has a question for you. Or is the product going to be delivered on time?"
Because everywhere else has had shit, bad harvest.
They've had terrible harvests.
And
what
only
are the other moms doing? What are the moms doing?
Highest. Go ahead.
You just gotta like raise kids. Like not even like really, do much with them. Mostly they just make them do tests and then make them do all the chores.
Only yours can be delivered as the highest quality goods to be offered during Tifari. What is
Tifari? Okay.
I have no idea.
That's another change because it was called the Tifar, or the Tifair, or whatever. And we get the little scene with the demons that are sitting there,
Yes.
and drinking. Well, one has that flower that clearly killed one girl from episode 1.
And they
but
mentioned something about the one will be pleased.
yeah, that's when they said the Tifar. They revere it as like a god, because they say that the Tifar's meal is special, and they're like, we must offer the Tifar our prayers. And I'm like, is it like their demon god that they just give like high quality kid brains to?
Look, I don't know. I have no idea about the Tifar, but
It's got to be like the king.
The Tifar sounds a lot like Jafar, and I'm okay if the Tifar is like Jafar.
Does he have a talking parrot in the desert for some reason?
Maybe, I don't know. Then we go back to our Munchkin.
Is it also voiced by Gilbert Gottfried?
I hope so. I
want to see Gilbert Gottfried speaking Japanese in an anime. That'd be hilarious.
Can we just have Gilbert Gottfried?
Konnichiwa!
Oh gosh. Start a petition! Everybody, get on it. Start a petition to have Gilbert Gottfried be a voice actor in an anime.
I would love to hear it.
That would be great. But
so
now we're back to the kids, and they're running and playing, and the Glasses Girl is just looking on.
She seems suspicious.
She's also very observant.
In fact, they talk about the tracker, and they discuss kind of like, where it is and stuff, and they talk about how it's not set to a number, because then they would know who it was actually.
There's no individual numbers. There's no.
Not as important as what I'm gonna say. Did you notice how the scene was shot? From inside bushes. You notice that? Little shaky cam inside the bushes.
Yeah, like clearly something is watching
like
them.
Someone is watching. And I think now I'm not gonna say for sure. I think they're setting it up to be the Glasses Girl. But I think it's gonna be somebody else because they're setting it up so hard.
You're right.
Now
they have a lot of they have a lot of like, ooh, it's Glasses Girl. Ooh, it's her. She's watching.
Yeah, it feels like it's so obviously her that I don't think that's gonna end up being the twist. Because then that wouldn't really be a twist. You're like, okay, yeah, obviously it's her.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna it's probably gonna end up being what's that one dude? The other guy that's like, he's also 12, but he's not really as smart as they are.
Oh, I don't know.
Chase's Glasses Girl is a demon.
Very possible.
No, it was very much implied that there was a traitor among the kids. I don't. What?
Hey, look, demons could have demon kids. She'd be a demon kid. You don't know, DC.
We don't even know if the demons can turn into humans.
I think
that's the thing.
But anyway,
if their trackers can't tell you an identification number, they're not very good on technology.
So pretty much what they decide about the trackers is that destroying them might tell them, so it might be
they don't
more
know.
Worried. So they were gonna just leave them alone and figure it out when they're like ready to be done with this and ready to escape. So all they have to do. Ray has an idea. The next problem is taking all the kids.
Use tag as training for them.
Yeah, they want to train the kids because they're not physically as advanced or ready for the running they're going to have to do. So they start training the kids through the play. It's Emma's idea, teaching them how to use the environment and cover their tracks. Like
that's how you get a montage.
Yeah, cute little montage. Teaching the kids how to run and jump and hide and cover the tracks, and because Norman could find them.
Yeah, Norman will use his brain to track you. He knows your habits.
Not good with technology, Demon. Can you help me access the book face, please? No, Chase, I'm not going to help.
The book face place. But then we get Creepy Crone again, who is like, I'll play tag. Yeah. Demon face.
And then, sister wants to play, and all the kids go and hide. She's like, you've got 20 minutes.
You got 20 minutes.
And she just bolts. Like, I was actually ready for a Naruto run, but what she did was almost better. She was just like...
No, Naruto running was in God of High School.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
she's running in them combat heels. Look at her.
But Ray and Norman are watching her at the same time. They're also learning from her.
And Emma.
What
Ray,
Crone
Norman,
is
and
doing.
Emma are watching
Yeah.
it.
And the sister said, then all the kids evade her for a few minutes, and she's like, "Oh, now I'll get serious." It's really
creepy. In her creepy way. Can we just like mention the combat heels? Like, damn. Those boots have some heel on them.
And the way she was bolting after those kids with those boots.
She was running like crazy. One of those kids tries to hide in a tree, and she just busts it open.
She really does. Like, I noticed. And then she also uses some tricks to get to the young. She like cuts shapes into leaves.
cuts shapes into leaves, and that gets the young kids to be like, ah, cute, pretty.
Yeah. And then she does bust through a tree, which you're telling me you think she's human with that kind of superhuman strength. She busts through the middle of an old tree.
Yes, it's an anime.
Okay, look.
I believe in the anime.
Like, I know what you're getting at, but at the same time,
look, I'm gonna 100% believe it because anime logic.
Okay, I'll take that for you. And then Emma, and then sisters come, and there's two younger kids. Like, Emma just comes out of the bushes, scoops those kids, and takes off running. Now, can we just say, Emma's a beast too, because she's able to run with these two kids that are over half of her.
Then maybe Emma's a demon. She can run with two kids. Everyone's demons. There's no humans.
Everybody demon. But
that's why I believe fully in the ability to bust open a tree. If a 12-year-old can run with two 8-year-olds,
I'll give you that one.
And outrun the adult.
I'll give you that one.
Holy, but basically, Sister Crone just kind of like uses Emma's weakness against her. She's like, oh, well,
they like hide in these rocks, yeah, but don't cut out too much of that. Don't cut out too much of that now.
Why?
I know you're trying to move on because at least in the dub, like they were hiding the rocks and doing this one, and now the sister was prancing around the rocks, and she was like talking about how she knows their weaknesses and she knows everything, and then she leans down, and then she's like, "If you saw the harvest, I'm your friend," and then Emma gasped.
See, you said don't skip too much of it, but I was gonna say she says Norman's weakness is his body, Ray's weakness is his
I thought you were
inability
just gonna... I'm sorry.
No, his inability to like stick to a plan. Like he makes plans quick, but then he abandons them quickly. And she's like, and your weakness is your naivety. And then she does the whole like, bah, I'm your friend.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm gonna level with you, and she says all this kind of stuff, and then I'm on your side.
Yeah, and so
she finds her, and she does that face.
And then
they get caught, yeah.
Then she tries to track down Ray and Norman, and they split up, and they do all this stuff.
Oh, she's booking after him. I mean, they're flying through this forest, which there's no roots or rocks in this forest. No one's gonna twist and break an ankle.
But
I guess
the thing
is
split up. Ray and Norman are able to run down the clock.
Yes, and she was impressed.
Mm-hmm. She was shocked.
Crone was impressed. Yes, they are truly elite, she says.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. They evaded her for 20 minutes, and they could still go.
Yeah, and then Ray just walks up, puts his hand on her, like, "Time's up. I win."
Time's up. Yeah.
Yep. And then there's another focus on Glasses Girl there too.
Yeah, because it's like, we have a traitor.
Exactly. And then the coming down the last scene, the kids are alone again, and they're talking about Mom and Crone, and they think another kid's watching them. I said Crone. Whatever. They serve dinner, and Emma panics that one of these kids could be a traitor. She freezes, looking at all these little kids. And all these, this is like her family, and she's gonna, they could have left already, just the three of them. But the reason why they're still here is because Emma wants to save everybody.
Nobody wants to listen to Ray, the guy with the good plans. There's like 6 or 8 babies. Look, how the hell are we gonna get all the babies out? And once we get all the babies out, how are we
Norman's
gonna
a simp.
feed all the babies?
Norman's a simp.
Norman's a simp, and Ray's the only one with a brain.
But at the same time, I can't blame Emma for wanting. I would take the older, but all those kids are gonna die if they don't try to save them.
They could all die if they do. But you know when they wouldn't die? If they just gathered up the kids that they could, go out, figure out what the world's like. They're not going to immediately sell off those kids because they're not going to be able to, they need to mature. So you got a couple of years.
Do they? But if their god needs a sacrifice, they might need what they take what they can get. Like.
But those kids don't know about that, so it doesn't matter. You have to go off of what information they have.
Chase says Optimist versus realist. You got it.
Exactly. I'm more of a realist where I understand that you're not going to be able to take care of those freaking 8 babies.
No.
Do you have shelter? Do you have food? Do you have any safety for those kids?
You're absolutely right.
What's
right.
A quick painless death or a slow starvation? Which one's better? I'm going out quick and painless if I get the choice.
All right. That's fair. But if there's a chance you could live, are you gonna fight or just give up?
Depends on the situation.
I'm a fight.
And
I'm a fight. We're gonna move on to the God of High School. Episode 3, Wisdom Kingdom. Wisdom Kingdom.
Can we talk about creepy goddess eye boobs?
Yeah, we certainly could. It definitely had, they showed, there was relics and statues, and they looked, I apologize if I'm wrong, but they looked vaguely of Hindu origin. There's statues and whatnot.
The goddess there sort of looked like Ashra or I can't remember the other 9-armed demon gods. There's a few of them.
There's a few.
But normally they don't have eye boobs. But then they showed a bunch of statues that sort of looked like Chinese or Korean deities, like those kind of the guardians, you know what I mean, or the war gods.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And
then there's a cult.
Yeah, and can we talk about bondage priest? Not Shiva, because it was red skin, not blue skin. Yeah, I just want to talk about the one random priest with the mouth gag.
Yeah,
the ball gag specifically.
I cannot. It looked more like a female, but
whatever.
they definitely had and it wasn't required because nobody else out. Had
clearly they just enjoy having a ball gag in.
And hey, you know what? That's fine. We
no,
make
it's not
sure
fine.
we get a.
Keep
wearing
your
a cloak.
cakes inside.
Everyone's wearing a cloak.
Keep your
Maybe
cakes
they should
in
have had
private.
their hood up.
Don't bring your cakes to the priest meetings.
Maybe they were just ready for the after party. Come on, cults also have some weird stuff going on, man.
Is the weird after cult meeting mud wrestling championship?
No, they don't even try to. They don't even try to veil it.
It's just after.
Anyway, we get a shot of all of them. The camera makes sure we see everyone that's here, and there's really not that many.
Focuses on 5 people and then a crowd.
Oh well, yeah, everyone that was up front,
vaguely offensively dressed people. Not quite offensive.
I don't know.
Not
and they say that
but almost.
That they are looking for a key to their wish and something about God's will.
It's God's will. God's will.
Maybe that's the God that the Promised Neverland kids are gonna get sent to. Maybe that's Tafiti or whatever. I don't know.
But then we get cut to the
we get our amazing opening. We get our amazing opening.
Organizer.
Your contradiction. I love that.
Did you listen to the Caleb Howells version of that?
I did.
Yeah, I did. Thought people would like that. But yeah, we find out from the tournament organizers that Mr. Go is out due to injury.
Mm-hmm. And Mansock. I call him Mansock. Don't at me.
No, he's Prison Dude.
Mansock.
Prison Dude is just mentally broken.
Mansock, whatever. Yeah, he's like in the hospital, but he's sitting on the floor doing this number in the corner.
Yeah, he's also saying monster. Monster.
Monster. But the two participants
I
are
mean,
out because of
I guess
Jin.
Jin's a monster. He did.
Jin Mori.
Jin Mori
Jin
did
Mori.
kick him 3 times in like an instant.
Destroy him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I mean,
They
if you're
discussed disqualifying Mori because he broke the rules.
until the head judge guy sees his
Park.
his
Wasn't that
grandpa's
Park?
name. Yeah, Park.
Was that not Park? Mujin? Yeah. Okay. And yeah, he sees that his grandpa's name's on his profile page, and it's like Jin Taijin and
Taijin.
Smile. Taijin?
Yeah, so Jin's grandpa is somebody very special.
Special boy. Then we're back to the ring.
Yeah, more tournament fights. Ma Mission versus Mira.
Group A, 9th match. Yeah, Yo Mira and Ma Mission. And that's Bubblegum Girl, for those who do not remember the names.
Not just Bubblegum Girl, she's the Pan-American WWD Women's Champion, the, what was like a great Amazoness?
Yeah, the Amazoness. And just the Queen Amazoness.
Versus Mira.
And then she's like, oh, your wooden sword won't work on me.
Yeah. Look, don't insult her.
Fight.
She came all the way from America just to do this. Even though America has a competition, according to them.
Like, and she could get her harem at any point, anywhere,
her wish,
at any time.
Her wish, everyone, is to get a harem.
Of men. She wants good
cool
men.
Guys. Good guys.
She wants a harem of mysterious men, cool men, tough men, kind men, and she has this little fantasy where they're all waiting on her. And like the tough one was like wearing like dog ears and like posing on the floor half nude.
And a collar.
With a collar, and I'm like each of them were like pampering her.
I did like the little sound effect where it's like, huh. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
Sexy boy.
That.
Super sexy.
But yeah, she doesn't need a wish for that. She's sexy enough. She can get on her own.
There is literally the entire crowd. There's
thousands of
her.
No, half of them were cheering for Mira.
Oh well, the entire crowd that they focused on during that part was cheering for her.
I did like the announcer that was like, every culture, of course, has its own idea of beauty, but I don't think anyone would complain about using the word for these two.
Yeah, because they both are pretty.
They are both very pretty.
And then she's like, oh, well, that sword's not going to work on me. She blocks it when the fight starts because I've trained, pro wrestlers train their body towards.
She just has a thing for men. She just wants men.
I think it's just men, like.
I don't think she has standards. Her standards is personality and probably looks. You have to have any kind of personality and
big personalities.
She likes them big personalities, big boisterous guys.
Yeah, big, meaty, boisterous personalities.
So
everybody.
Mira don't need no sword. Let's talk about that.
She knocks the sword out of her hand, and she's like, "Oh, I trained my body so it's harder than iron. That's why your wooden sword won't do anything."
After doing a couple sets of awesome wrestle moves, and Mira's just like, "I don't need a sword. Whoosha! My body's a sword."
Yeah, she like Moon style number 5, swordless, and then she's like
swordless style,
and then it's just like cutting her, across the chest. And it's just.
And then she does an awesome double down slash that like slices through the thing and cuts her, and boom, victory is Mira's, which pretty awesome.
And she wins, and then we're back to Mori was chanting. Jin Mori was chanting.
Jin Mori was chanting for Mira. Yeah.
He's like, "Yay!" all by himself in the little detainment cell.
Mira.
I love how they gave him a TV in his punishment cell so he could watch.
It wasn't really a cell. He was just in like a waiting room that he couldn't. It was like glassed off waiting room.
Yeah,
like they were literally talking about him right outside of the room he was in.
He could have easily heard them, but he was too much into the fight. Like he didn't care.
All he cares about is strong opponents. That's all he cares about. Strong opponents and bananas. Loves bananas.
There's thumping outside my recording door.
So they end up coming in and they're like, all right, we've come to the conclusion. You're gonna fight one of our judges. If you win, you get to be back in the tournament. you're gonna fight this green-haired guy. And he's like, I don't want to fight green hair. I want to fight Blondie.
And that was the one that he had fought before?
Yeah, blonde guy.
And then now he doesn't just say that. He throws himself on the ground.
He
has
throws
himself a roll around. And he starts...
a temper tantrum. Like a 2-year-old. Have a little temper tantrum. Man,
I don't care how big you are.
And
Pull you by your ear. And
green
give you
guy,
some capital punishment for behaving like that.
Green hair's like, I'm stronger than him. So he's like, remove your glasses.
Okay.
Bam! Punches him, and he's like, let's go again! Because Jin has a problem.
Sadist, possibly? Masochist? Definitely.
He definitely feels like a masochist. I don't think he's a sadist,
and he's like,
but he's
hit me again.
Definitely a masochist.
The only way that would have made that any funnier if he said, "Oh, harder, Daddy," after the punch.
Have you seen AMV Hell?
Which one?
Any of the ones? I'm thinking of the one was like, shoot me again. I ain't dead yet. Da, da, da. That's Jin. Hit me again. I ain't dead yet.
Yes, it is. And then Park's like, no, stop it. And the ring match tomorrow in the ring. Until then, keep your fisties in your sleeveys.
So then we get the other two main characters, Han Daiwei and Mira, are talking about him. Like, I wonder what's happening.
You know how I remember his name? Do you remember do you know the way?
Yeah. But they're Knuckles. Yeah. So they're bringing him down, and they're talking about Jin Mori, and he's just like.
I'm glad you didn't hear that. I'm glad you didn't hear that.
I heard. I was just keeping the things going. They're talking about Jin Mori, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" They're like, "What?" He's eating a banana because the dude's obsessed with bananas. Every time we see him, wherever he can, he's eating a banana.
Maybe it's a good source. Maybe potassium is his secret.
I don't know. It's just weird. I think it goes with like his personality, where she was like quit monkeying around and stuff.
Oh yeah, fair. And then they're like,
he's an annoying little ape.
He really is.
But we find out like he got some fruits from
Park
guy. Yeah.
Park Mujin. How do I remember that name and you don't?
I don't know, but he got some fruits from him, and he mentions.
He's like, "Oh yeah, my match is tomorrow."
Yeah, like they're like, "Aren't the judges strong?" And he's like, "Oh, very strong."
That is fine.
Like, he also mentions his family saying, "Do what you want."
Yeah, do what you want. That came from his grandpa. That's a fantastic saying. Please, no one teach my children that saying. No one. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Then we kind of get back to like
a quick flash to
again.
Secretary Park. Yeah. And they're
she's
talking
like,
about the fruit.
Those aren't ready yet. Why'd you give him those?
And he's like, I don't know what they'll happen to an ordinary human. I did it just for fun.
Really? Because in the sub he says, I wanted to see if he's the real deal or not.
Oh yeah, he says that too. And then they're also like, well, I also don't know. There's only sub of this. I'm watching sub as well. There is no dub of God of High School.
I didn't see him say, I wanted to know what happened if a normal human eats it.
I did. Whatever.
I watched it twice and I didn't see it. So yeah.
I swear that's what. Whatever. Well, whatever. So my question is, if you didn't see that part, I can't question the fact that Jin might not be entirely human. I can't question that.
I don't know with what happens later. I don't know if normal human implies the later event at the end of the episode, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. We'll get there. But no, basically Jin goes home, eats some fruit, takes out a peach. Ooh, delicious. Nom. Then he goes to put his futon down. Goes to put his futon down and vomits blood.
Just blood.
And he just falls over and dies.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about death, but he just passes out.
And then Han Daiwei meets his friend on the rooftop.
He's at the hospital, and it looks like his friend is suffering from a chronic long-term
some kind of disease.
Something bad. And
his sister's working herself to the bone.
They're going to try a new treatment, and
it's very expensive.
Very expensive. And then he's worried, like, you're not working so hard to help me, are you? And he's like, yeah, don't worry about that. It's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about what I do.
Don't worry.
He's just like, I met a guy that reminded me of you. And he's like, yeah. He was weird. He's like, you saying I'm weird? And he's like, yes.
And it was very,
You're not
very
supposed
cute.
to come out and say friendship.
Yes, friendship. Big friends
No,
doing friend things, and then we skip to Dawe's job,
where he
and
gets
some
harassed by
drunk.
some douches.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
they're not
swore.
drunk. They're just
It's a
douches.
swore. You said a swore.
It's fine. They're definitely no. They're not drunk. They're just dudes that suck.
Yeah, and well, I don't know. They looked a little wobbly, but they were just like, "Oh, what about your sick friend Sentue or whatever his name is? Is that how you say that?
I don't know.
Sling,
All I know is that
Sling
their animosity makes more sense in the webtoon.
and they're trash talking the sick person. Like, who does that? And then they
Well,
throw a
if
can of coffee
if
all
you
over
know
Dawe.
if you know the webtoon, you would understand exactly why.
But DC, you hate webtoons.
Oh yeah, but I'm trying to keep track with it. I really hate it. I hate, but it's like I want to see the differences. And the interesting fact is that Han Daiwei is part of a delinquent group, a duo,
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
his buddy basically beat the crud out of these guys, and that's why they don't like him.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so in the anime it kind of there's no real like connection there as to why they're such douches.
That makes more sense. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, exactly. It makes a little bit more sense. they're like they're they're just mad
So-
because yeah.
One of the jerk faces throw the coffee all over Dwayne's back, and he just keeps his cool while
Han
they
is
laugh.
a
And he's like,
saint.
"Let me pick that up for you.
Let me get that for you, sir. He's
Let me
very
throw that
polite
away
about
for
it.
you." Yes,
He even
he
smiles.
is at work. Yes, he is, and I gotta say, I'd probably lose my job in his position.
That is because he is a saint.
I'd be like, "Sorry, boss, I need to take off early so I can beat up some people." Like
I
right
could
now.
murder you with my fists, but I won't.
So
But
now
anyways,
we're back to the arena, and it's Group
Han
A
versus
12 match.
glasses
Yeah, Kakashi Energy Guy, and Mia's in the audience.
with mastery
And-
of knowledge and violence,
So
just like G.I. Joe said.
G.I. Joe says that?
Yeah, knowledge is half the battle.
Oh, I thought you said no.
What's the other
never
half of
mind.
the battle? What's the other half of the battle?
Violence.
Exactly. This guy follows the G.I. Joe creed.
I guess. G.I. Joe.
But
yeah, he's like analyzing his moves and his techniques and his knuckles, and
beating
he's
him
like,
up.
"Oh, this book has all the info I need to beat you," and he puts away his book in the fight. He actually put away his book for the fight.
Beats him up because he does. He starts kind of kicking Han's butt, and at one point,
Oh, blinding speed and accuracy with that bat of his.
With that bat, yeah. He kind of like at one point he goes to charge him and he slips and he falls, and Han's just a good guy. He just comes in and like boom, hand out, goes to catch him, takes a bat to the face. Han is a saint.
He tries like it would be dishonorable. It'd be like a coward would only attack during somebody falling down, and then he does take the bat, and there's a little trickle of blood. And then, Kakashi dude's like, "Yeah, that's really weird. Why would you do that?"
Yeah, and then he hits him with the 12 spear attack.
Yeah,
I don't understand how a bat does that.
The bat got turned into projectiles. I mean,
well, I figure it's like a representation
not turned
of like,
into, but like it flew out of. No,
It's
no,
like
when
a-
he does like the bigger one later, you actually see like little spear tips. So it's not just like a representation. No, it was not. It was not just psychic energy. He got smacked with things.
Okay, well, here's where I'm gonna counter you with that. Typically in anime, you see those, but they're not real. They're just there to represent to the audience what's gonna happen. It's a representation, but it's not an actual literal thing. And I only say that because no one commented on it. And also, it's sort of like in One Piece, whenever Zoro goes to use an attack, and he has like a bull appear behind him to represent that his attack is named after a bull. The bull isn't actually there. It's just a representation for the audience.
I don't know about this one. Like, because you even see, like, the way his clothes, like, fold in, like punctures. Like,
Yes. It's the representation. It's not necessarily really happening. Because no one comments on the fact that, why, this is weird.
So, anyway, Dubway gets, like, impaled by DC's definition of psychic energy. I say projectiles that flew out of the bat.
Well, because the
and
idea
he
is
has a
that he hit him
flashback.
12 times with the bat. That's the idea. He hit him with the bat that many times.
Whatever. But he goes to the sick friend, and it was a bad day. Bad day for the sick friend, and then he's just all life is a battle, and you just gotta keep trying, and it gives Dawei like
the push he needs to move forward.
Yeah, and he pushes himself to stand. They both whip out secret moves. Kakashi loses his bat.
No. You want to mention all the other stuff? I'm not skipping the sacred arts of the 4 beasts that he pulls out. First stance Genbu, second stance Suzaku, third stance Byakuyo, where he literally uses Genbu, punches the bat and shatters the bat, uses Suzaku and kicks the ground and sends a tornado up, and then he uses Byakuyo and just starts wailing on him.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
And he's about to pull out Seiryu. You can tell he's about to, but the dude falls down. And he's like, I can't believe you shattered my violence and my knowledge.
Yeah, pretty much. But there was just a brutal fist fight. It was punch
amazing.
After punch after punch, yeah. And the Kakashi dude just kind of seemed to like it. He was like enjoying getting wailed on.
No, he was. He was
Whatever.
not. He was upset because he even says, I can't believe you shattered my knowledge and my violence.
Yeah, that's true. Then that's the end of the day's matches.
Except for the punishment match.
Exactly.
And Jin Mori is late. And they're
he's still lying on his floor in the puddle of blood.
They're about to cancel the match.
But
and he shows up.
Why he's lying on the floor? There's like this scene.
Weird scene. I don't know what to think of it without pausing.
I went back and I paused through the scene. I did. And there was like strange flashes, like it looked like a cult. You saw just a whole bunch of hooded people in a crowd. Then you see these large people with like rings around their head. And like blue eyes crossed like his own. And then a dragon. Like it looked draconic in nature.
We'll find out more about that eventually, I'm sure.
And then his black and gold eyes open.
But let's talk about him showing back up for the match.
They're like, yep, well, he's not here. I guess we're gonna have to. And then he shows up, kind of thing. They didn't actually say that, but that was.
Yeah, but it's a handicap match. All he has to do is knock him down one time, and he wins. And they're like, start the match. And he immediately is like, take off your glasses. And the guy's like, what? And he just shows up, grabs his glasses, and pushes him over. And they're like, Jin Mori wins. And everyone's upset. And the real fight
that was literally how quick it happened. Like, he goes, take off your glasses. Poop. And then the dude just fell back on his butt.
OtakuCast, that moment was hype AF. That was an amazing scene.
Yes, it was.
And Jin comments, my body is burning.
Yeah, he's like, I feel hot. What the heck? And
so whatever
green hair dude, everyone's like mad. Like, what? They played with us.
But green hair dude just gets back up.
And he's ready to fight. He's angry. And Jin just like dodging.
Jin gives him a beatdown.
Oh yeah. He dodges his blow and just beats the heck out of him.
And then green-haired man gets so mad he summons a clown with a scythe.
How? It comes out of his face orifices.
Remember
yes, a billowing black mist.
Like Prison Dude. Yeah, like Prison Dude had. But Clown basically is attacking Washa Washa Wa. Mori dodges, gets caught in the hand though, and the Clown's about to come down with a scythe, and then he disappears, and it cuts to, the green-haired dude being held up by everybody. He's just like,
by the other proctors, yeah.
And Park is like, you got a 3-month pay deduction. I'm sure you know why.
Yeah, the Reaper Clown that just appeared out of dude's like anger. What?
There's something going on there. We're gonna something's happening. We'll find out.
Yeah, and Park's like, Jin, you won. You're back in the tournament. Like,
And then it
And
ends
Mori's
with...
just happy and hungry, and
No,
yeah, he's
I
just...
want to specifically state it ends with him saying, "Give me banana."
Yeah, he wants a banana. But Park thinks that Jin Mori is in his grandfather's tiger club, and that they're never going to let him get away.
He thinks he is the tiger. He's like, "So this is your tiger cub."
Yeah, I don't know.
We're
And
not gonna
he's
let
never
this
going to
one
let him get away. But Mori just wants a banana and then falls asleep. I mean...
And that was Anime Club. Anything else
It really
for
was.
the movie? You're gonna have to get Patreon. We don't talk
Yeah,
about
if
the
you wanna
movie on
watch
the
it.
cast. It's an extra.
What was
I'm
that movie?
sorry.
What was that movie?
Ni no Kuni.
Ni no Kuni.
But for now, do we have any Empire news to discuss?
We
this
do! We'd
Hit
like
us
to
with it.
welcome our new Patreon, Chase. As you guys have probably seen him in chat, Chase Griffin
Dun-dun-dun.
Smith. Thank you for supporting us. You are amazing. You are awesome. Keep being awesome. I mean, come on. If you guys want to support us, you can do it for as little as $1 a month on Patreon. And that's
Join
about
us.
what we have for you this time, everybody. Thank you for watching. Give us a follow, a like, comment, a subscribe, a share. If you're watching this on YouTube, join on over to the Twitch channel. Follow us on Twitch. If you're watching this on Twitch, get on over to the YouTube. Subscribe over there. Join the Discord. I mean...
And you know what else? Have a good day.
Yeah, have a great day. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend if you're watching this on the weekend. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.